I started a business and I need more clients.
So what's the difference between the work that you had and the work that you have?
I believe in the work that I have.
We're not questioning that at all. We think that the work that you are involved in, we think that it's a good fit for you. You ask us for some help, and we're helping to show you where the bugaboos are in your thinking. And where the bugaboos are in your thinking is that there was plenty of momentum. That wasn't work that was pleasing, but there was plenty of momentum. So you weren't out scratching in the dirt for the clients. That part of it all was well underway, and it isn't here. It isn't currently. So it's momentum that was then that isn't now. There's a different sort of momentum. And we want you to know that the only thing that ever slows momentum is you. It's not the work. It's not the longitude and latitude. It's only your perception about the differences. And so that's what we're asking you to see if you can identify within yourself. What beliefs did you have about that apparently you don't have about this? We want you to feel from us and know that you can have your prosperity anywhere and any way you want it. It will come to you. When you ask, it is given. And the universe isn't saying, can't have it. You should have stayed over there. If you'd stayed over there, but apparently there's something within you that believes in the difference between where you stand or the different environment in which you stand.
What comes to mind is, in the past, I was working for a big company and a paycheck rolled in. I did what I was told. The paycheck came every month.
Precisely.
And now I work for me.
Yes.
And if I work, it's for my benefit.
That's what we were wanting you to acknowledge. But now you've acknowledged it. We want to say to you that while it looked like that was the path of least resistance through which it came, it still came by your own power of attraction. And the means or the process through which it comes is really irrelevant. It's just that under those conditions, you didn't get in the way. And under these conditions, you are for some reason. So apparently, and it's all right, and it's pretty normal, you believe more in the paycheck flowing to you under those conditions more than you do believe in it flowing to you under these conditions. And at the heart of that belief is you say, how dare I? How dare I not be sacrificing? In other words, isn't there a certain amount of sacrifice that is required? So here are our questions. Oh, you're going to really like this. If you work for a big or any corporate outfit, there are things that they require of you. They do have some requirements before they yield over the paycheck, yes? Mm-hmm. And are any of those things that they require of you things that you really didn't want to do? Yeah, a whole lot of them. A lot of them. Be there when they wanted you to be there, do the things that they wanted you to do. In other words, there was quite a list of things that sort of felt like a sacrifice of who you really are and what you really want to do for that. And now, you're not paying any price. So somehow you and almost everybody else has associated receiving from sacrificing. You got to give up something to get something. It's sort of the old stuck in your craw vibration. But it isn't accurate at all. Because what you're missing, because you couldn't step back far enough, is that you wanted it and it came. And yes, your belief system let it come in that way, but your belief system can let it come in this way. But you got to step back and see what the true source of the money is. In order to let it flow to you under any and all circumstances, you've got to understand where it's really coming from. You think it was coming from them who were holding you hostage for that particular behavior, but it wasn't. It was a universal response to what you wanted. You just weren't blocking it then, and you are now. Is this making sense to you? So you just have to acknowledge that the vibrational currency that is flowing to you can flow through any avenue that you will allow it, and then you allowed it in that way, and now you're going to allow it in another way. But in no case is sacrifice required of you. In fact, the more you sacrifice of your happiness, the more you pinch off what could really flow. That's why your potential for prosperity is so much greater now than it was then. Then you could only go so far as they decided they would allow you to go under the circumstances of your sacrifice. And we're not saying you were making up the idea of sacrifice. They felt it too. They expected it from you as part of the game that you were playing, but that wasn't really where it was coming from ever. It was always coming from the universal coffers of vibrational currency. Now, there is so much more potential than then. And that's why you were a little frisky with us just now when we were asking you some of those questions, because you know for sure, you can feel for sure that this is a much better fit for you. You know this is a good fit. And it is. Does it feel a little unblocked now? Well, you see, you don't want to unblock it till the money shows up. This is over here where the manifestation is. But as you're getting ready to be ready, don't you feel a little less blockage there?
It needs to sink in.
Yeah.
Yeah.